What you go do if your Pidgin makes plus proper English? I think that sounds quite different. Today on our episode on this channel, we are talking about Pidgin. Is there a need to eradicate Pidgin in the lives of youth in this country? Or will you support we speaking full Pidgin as we grow up, and even as older people even speak as a normal thing, that there's nothing wrong with it? Today on my channel, I have with me a colleague here who will talk and then dissect the topic on board if Pidgin is something that we can still speak and then maintain our proper speaking English. Okay, Mr. Andy, Andy Blankson, my namesake. Charlie, you're welcome. What's up? I'll say since you are doing Pidgin something, I mean everything they do. Yeah, so Charlie, I want to know overview, what is your take on Pidgin? Before we come to the first question, what is your take on Pidgin?
Well, Pidgin is a language that a lot of African countries use. Some of them use it at a formal level, some too don't. And in Ghana here, it's not quite formal, but most students and people use it a lot. Even uneducated people can speak Pidgin.
Yeah, and educated ones who do speak Pidgin.
It's quite broken. I go call it broken English.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's only I would say Pidgin language is, let's say, it lacks. It's not accurate. It doesn't have accurate grammar.
Okay.
In it. The grammar in it is inaccurate. So I would say that it's good and not good at the same time, depending on the people who speak it.
Okay, so it's good and not good at the same time, depending on people who speak it, and then the setting where they speak it. But okay, so to my next question, as we all know, Pidgin is widely spoken, as you said, in most African countries. What is your take on some constructions of words that have been moved from the proper English language to the Pidgin? We have something like you, that's Y-O-U, and in Pidgin, in writing, you write only you, and a host of them. What's your take on it? Do you think maybe it's accepted and it won't spoil the way of writing? What's your take on it in general?
Well, these days people like shortcuts. Shortcuts are quite, it's quite the way now a lot of people want to use. People find it long to write the word, well, if they can put in you. And for me, I'll say that when it's informal, it's okay to put on you. But when you are being formal, when you use you, that is the alphabet, the single alphabet, it's not good. It's quite short and it doesn't help in flowing in English.
That if you are going formal.
Going formal. Now if you are going formal, so you must use the good English always, no matter what, because it can affect you in a lot of ways.
No, okay. So I think to my next question. Would you, does Pidgin affect the grammatical construction of students? Do you think Pidgin, when we speak, especially in the lives of students, do you think it goes to an extent whereby it affects their grammatical construction of some sentences and how they express themselves in English?
Of course, yes. It does affect it greatly, because most of students, especially when it gets to exams or trials and all that, they mostly mix their English that they put in with Pidgin due to speaking it always, frequently speaking Pidgin. And sometimes they speak it and they get used to it. So mostly when they want to speak English, then the Pidgin comes out. The same applies to when you want to put it on paper. Now in Ghana here, anything we do, or let's say we are an English-speaking country.
Yeah.
We have our local dialect that we also speak. But when you go to school and you are not, apart from languages that people do in school, you write all courses that people do in English. And therefore, people must stick to writing English properly, speaking the Pidgin properly, the English properly, instead of using Pidgin, because when you do that, it contradicts with your writing in English, and you may go out to write Pidgin instead of writing proper English, and that alone will cause you
Yeah.
I would say that a lot of people have failed in exams because of
especially in English language.
Not because they don't know it, but because they are not writing English. They are writing Pidgin, which is broken English.
Yeah. I think to also add to what you're saying, I think when we were in school, I think back then in school, whether JHS or SHS, can't really put a finger on it. There was this friend of mine who most of the time speaks Pidgin in class and all that, and then we had English language examination. And we were in class, and all of a sudden the teacher just came in and called him and told him how can he write a full essay all in Pidgin, not even English. And you know English language is English, and it's supposed to be written in English. Even those subjects that are not in English, they are being asked and answered in English. So how can English not be answered in English? And he wrote everything in Pidgin. So with this person, he could, not even he could, he will not even obtain a mark for himself with a mark that the child is even expecting. So Mr. Andy, moving on, the Pidgin that we all know that is widely spoken in our country and in most parts of African countries. Can a student that is obsessed with Pidgin, can he constantly speak Pidgin that maybe he can't speak? Because we are also mellowing it and bringing it down to the level of saying, because it will affect us. If you are out of school and you are working and you are speaking Pidgin, you can. At the end of the semester, at the end of the term, there's nobody who come and assess you. What's this? For you to write and attempt writing Pidgin. But we as students will be assessed all the time. So I'm asking, with this accepted language that we are speaking, this Pidgin, can a student be so obsessed with it that he will speak constantly, that he'll get to a time he can't even stop? What's your take on it?
Yes, it's possible. It's possible because, like I said, now these days people like the easy way. People like the easy way and the short way. And Pidgin is a language that people even construct on their own. People form their own Pidgin anywhere at all. A group of people can form their Pidgin, use some particular words in the Pidgin that they speak, and it's okay for them. So Pidgin, I say that people construct it a lot, using how they feel, what they feel like they want to say in it. And coming to your question, now when they speak, they feel that it's quite easy to speak Pidgin, try to put, because Pidgin has local dialect in it.
Okay.
English and local dialect together in it. So when they speak, they feel, some of them feel that expressing themselves is very okay.
Okay, rather than speaking the English.
Yes. So the Pidgin becomes, they use that a simple method, an easy way out to just express themselves or anything they want to do. Use that. So they do that and then forget that the English is there. The English that when you go outside, or the English that is formal, that they need to speak, that they have to use. That wherever you go to, if you want to do something and you are in an English country, you must use. They must know the right thing. They won't do that. They will try to use the Pidgin and use the Pidgin and use the Pidgin. Get to a time when they meet their friends or their pals, they can't speak the English anymore. So,
which means it has now become an addicted form of or way of speaking.
Yes.
That they always speak it. Okay, so being addicted or getting stuck to them speaking English, what do you think should be a way of management of various educational institutions should do to eradicate Pidgin speaking in schools? Because I believe you also got experience when you were in school. They said no one can speak vernacular, and at times you'll be punished for speaking a local dialect to some extent. So what would you advise, or what would you say to management of those institutions on how to eradicate Pidgin? But before that, do you even think there's a need to eradicate Pidgin at all in school? Do you think there's a need, before we come to the question?
Yes.
There's a need to eradicate Pidgin. Okay, so now if there's a need, how do we eradicate Pidgin in our various education institutions?
Now, look at Pidgin. Now, Pidgin, even when there's let's say there is a ban raised against Pidgin, friends and students who are close, or you still get together when even they meet themselves alone, they speak that language.
Yeah.
Those things can happen maybe when you are in a closed space, say a classroom. So it can be there that no use of Pidgin language, broken English language in this classroom. Mostly it can be abided when the rule is there. So when you enter this place, you don't speak. But even if it's in if the school has made it, the school doesn't speak Pidgin. When students meet together at hours that they are free or leisure hours, they engage in whatever conversation they want to. Especially now the universities, people speak any languages in class, even the local dialects in class. So I say to eradicate Pidgin, it won't be that easy.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a permanent solution to eradicate Pidgin.
So no matter what you do, they will still speak it.
Still speak it. If they can pretend in class, they may not. But outside class, they will surely do that. And then I don't think when you get to the tertiary level, I don't think there could be a strong, there could be something that will be raised against them. I mean, a penalty that will be raised against people or students who
for speaking Pidgin in class.
Yes, they will actually, students behave in a way that they do things that you don't even know about. You can't even find out. So it can't. I don't think
there's a permanent or a way or a straight line that we can say this is how we can use to eradicate pigeons. But I think the last question, I think we can bring this talk to a close. As a communication student in Ghana Institute of Journalism, studying communication to become a journalist and a PR, public relation officer, would you advise someone or the person that is studying communication journalism, GIJ, to freely speak Pidgin? Would you advise that?
Well, it depends. It depends in the fact that sometimes you can be in a company that cannot speak English.
Yeah.
You may meet somebody who is not educated, the person cannot speak English but can speak the Pidgin. Sometimes when you speak the English, they don't understand.
So you have to bring in the Pidgin for them to get it.
To get it a bit. But when you bring it to your everyday, it shouldn't be an everyday thing for you. English, you should first choose English as your first because you're a communication student. That is if you are only offering English and you're not doing other languages. If you are doing other languages as part of the communication, that is okay. You can also learn that. But English is something that is, let me say, is international. It's international, it's almost everywhere. So students should mostly speak English than use Pidgin language. In the exception of cases whereby they have to. But if they don't have to and they can speak English, I think that's the best thing they can do, to speak the English so that it can better them out. Because as we are growing, if you keep on speaking the Pidgin language, one day when you are maybe in an interview or something, you might go and speak.
A hard-working journalist doing so well, and you are interviewing someone on set. You speak English that you speak basically, then you bring in Pidgin unexpectedly, and all that, which also not accepted. Wow. I think I will thank you very much for honoring and then accepting to do this and then trying to share your thoughts and knowledge on this interview. Thank you very much. So, as we have just discussed on this topic, Pidgin as it is, it's an accepted, accepted language in Ghana and most African countries in the world, and even out of African countries, but nowhere how and to whom you speak Pidgin with. Because Pidgin, as you speak, can contradict your English, especially if you want to work in an English confined setting. So you need to advise yourself with it. Well, I also want to know your thoughts and your views on this particular topic. So do well and then leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget as well to go to our website, that's andyoppongonline.news.blog. The link is in the description below to get more stories and then know what Pidgin is all about. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Catch you soon on the flip side. Have a blessed day.